So let's listen to Tyler. He hit us up on the voicemail this week. Tyler from Swan River. Let's get to his question.
Hey, Ryan, it's Tyler Betcher calling from up in Swan River, Manitoba. Just wanted to take a minute here and thank you for putting this podcast out. Between yourself and your guests, there's definitely a lot of useful information that gets put out, and I appreciate that. So looking forward to getting the harvest playlist going as well. We're not out in the fields yet, but looking like in the next week or so here. Question for you. I know nobody's got a crystal ball, but given prices of commodities and fertilizer, would you be putting more wheat, less wheat, or the same amount of wheat in your rotation for next year? So I know it's a bit location dependent, but just looking to see what your thoughts were around the future of wheat, I suppose. Thanks.
Well, Tyler, I appreciate the comments, the positive comments there right off the hop. So I really, thank you for that. Of course, we wish all the information was top-notch, bang on, that people could make lots of money off of. But hey, we're out here trying. So appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in from Swan River. All right, so 2026, less wheat, more wheat, or the same. The problem I have right now is that I don't have quite yet. I don't have the other cereal comparables. Okay. I don't have the barley value, feed barley, malt barley. I don't have the oat value. I assume that you still want to put those into cereals, but I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret here. I think wheat acres are going to come down. I think across the prairies, wheat acres are going to come down. Just a little bit. We love growing wheat. It's a great day of harvest on the farm. But I think wheat acres are going to decline here a little bit. I think canola acres are going up. I don't think anyone's surprised by those comments. Like for me, I would like to see less wheat. Okay. I would like to see less wheat on the farm. I would like to see less wheat if the oat margin looks a little bit better, if the barley margin hangs in there. I'd like to see a little less wheat. Now, I think that you can control your destiny here, though, a little bit. Like our farm, we love growing wheat. We don't really like growing oats. We may have to grow oats out of necessity, but we don't really like growing oats. Many of you do. I don't know. We don't. At this point, we're not enjoying the oats a whole bunch. Our malt barley is risky. We feel that's a very high risk. So it's a tough one to add more acres. And we feel like we try to put in as much as we can to manage because it has been a good margin crop for us. So yeah. So for me, the what I would say here is that you can control your destiny in wheat. If you really love growing wheat, and you're looking at, how do you grow wheat? How do you grow more wheat? Or how do you grow the same acres? If you can pencil out your numbers and look down into the future and say, well, you know what? The 590 that's being offered to me off December of 2025, those futures, that doesn't work for me. But the 655 off December of 2026, you know what? That extra 65 cents, that is enough to get me to profitability. If you look at that number, which not long ago was 7, or a little rally to 675, if that gets you into a path of profitability, then you control your destiny on what you want to do with your wheat acres. But the reality is here today, folks. If I look at a chart, we are still bearish wheat futures. We look at a market that is going to grind sideways to lower. And, we hope, we cross our fingers, we hope that, that we get selling opportunities during the winter, during the spring, during the growing season. We sit here and hope that we get those chances so we can take those big bites and get closer to a break even. My fertilizer costs on the farm, I'm going to say they're up 10% over last year. I hope that they aren't, but I'd say they're up about 10%. I would say that our yield, we'll see where we sit, but even if I want to be optimistic on a 70 bushel wheat crop, I'm at 857 a bushel for a break even. And I'm staring down prices, even if I want to be a bit generous and drive a little further, I'm going to say I'm at $7 here. Like, I need to figure out how to generate $100, $110 an acre to break even on my wheat. And so if those numbers aren't working for you, if those numbers don't work, if you can't find how to make that work, if you can't make $7 wheat work or $6.50 or whatever it's going to be, is there another wheat you can grow? Is there a high bushel, lower quality wheat you can grow? Is there a way you can add bushels, do a better job of growing the crop, change things up to try to get more wheat bushels? But I got to make up that gap. And so if that number is going to be that big, how do I do less? How do I do less? And is there an oat number that works? Is there a barley number that works? I don't know yet. So that's the problem. So Tyler, it's a great question. I'm going to say that we are going to plant less wheat across the prairies. I'm going to say that wheat prices are going to continue to work their way lower. You could still be a heck of a marketer. You could still hit it out of the park in your wheat market. I'm not saying you can't, but I just think that we're in that path of quiet market, grinding lower, looking for a spark. We're going to do less acres. You should do less acres. Everyone should do less acres if you can find a cereal or something to put there that makes money, that pencils out. I did a presentation in 2024, and I said 2024, I was like, this isn't the hard year, guys. Like, if you think this is the hard year, if you're really stressed about this year, like, this ain't the hard year. I'm like, 2025, that's going to be a tough year. Like, that's going to be hard. 2026 though, like those years, 25, 26, 27, like, that looks to me like it's going to be tough years. Thankfully, this year, we did see some rallies. We did see a path to profitability on some of these crops. I think we can all try to hit the black. Again, there's always areas of drought and less crops, but yeah. So anyways, less wheat. That's what I would aim for, unless you've got some other high bushel, high yielding wheat variety that you can mix in there and try to make up that gap. Again, I think $550 an acre to $600 an acre of costs, paying everything, living. Again, your number may be different. If you're sitting here saying, man, my costs are only $450 an acre, you could grow all the wheat you want, Tyler. You can just have fun with it, right? Make money growing wheat. But on my farm, we got to figure out less wheat, or we got to figure out how to make up that gap, right? Okay. Keep it up, guys. whatthefuturespodcast.ca. That's where you have to go. Hit the voicemail button. Leave me a message. I'll respond to you either through the podcast or directly, and usually both. And I appreciate it.